All right, what's happening, Masterminds podcast watchers and viewers? Welcome to the Masterminds podcast YouTube channel. Masterminds with Brian and Pam is live on Instagram at 7 p.m. every Thursday. So I'm really excited to be doing this training with you guys today because I think it's going to be so valuable. I think it's going to be so powerful. And I love doing these trainings because little by little, piece by piece, we are sharpening the skill set. We're becoming aware of the skill set so that therefore we can sharpen it. And as a collective, as a community, or as an audience and, people that are tapped into the frequency can then start to gain the momentum. And that's what this one is going to be all about. So I was listening to an audiobook, and the audiobook was about being great, and it brought up an excellent point about being great. When you want to become a great person, and this is going to defeat perfectionism, I hope, in the future for a lot of people, because when you want to be great, when you want to do great things, right, you tend to have the end result in your mind. And there's no problem with having the best picture, the best vision. That's what being a visionary is all about. Having the biggest picture of what that end result can look like and feel like. You want that because that hones in your focus, and it brings the right things into your awareness. The more detailed you can be with that vision, the more you are aligning your focus with the things that need to be focused on, because the focus is like a little circle, and in your awareness, what you're aware of is like the bigger circle in your periphery, right? So when you have a vision, this is like two trainings in one. When you have a vision, you're able to start setting your focuses in the right direction, and then your peripheral will also pick up, your subconscious mind, your peripheral view will also start aligning and picking up the background constellations that make up that vision, so you could look at your focus as the subject, and then your field of awareness, like the context which that subject lives in. And the more we tune up to that frequency, the more to the frequency of our vision, the more those two aspects are interacting in your direction. But anyway, that's not the point of this training. It's so crazy. I talk in roundabouts, so bear with me. So in this training, we're going to talk about how to start being great. And the way that you start being great goes with this question, right? A lot of the leaders in our space say this: how do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant a bite at a time. So you become great a bite at a time, a step at a time. So what this book suggested be done, which I think is excellent, and I think that we should all work on this, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So what you want to do is find things in your life right now that you can be great in. Be great at washing the dishes. Be great at getting dressed in the morning, like having a good morning routine to get dressed. Not even like anything special. Lay out your clothes the night before, and then intentionally put each article of clothes and make it a ritual that really puts you in your zone as who you are, right? These are things that you already have to do. Elevate them to great. What else? Your workout routine can be great. Be great at that. I personally am working on becoming great at reading 10 pages a day. So become great at reading 10 pages a day, and then getting the best takeaways on those 10 pages every single day. And over time, through the consistency of doing that, you're only going to get better and better and better. And the point of creating greatness in your everyday moment to moment is that greatness catches momentum. It's as being great at getting dressed, being great at journaling, being great at washing dishes starts to take up momentum if you really set the agenda of that's what you're going to be great at. As that becomes easier, more things in your peripheral view will start to become great because the way that you approach that one thing bled into the other things. Consistency and momentum are like this. You need to be consistent to catch momentum, but once momentum gets going, it's going to take you along for the ride. You start to set a new standard. You start to set a new floor for your operation. Other things start to become great around you. So, take greatness a step at a time and focus on the details in your life and start with things that you're already doing. Because chances are the things that you're already doing can be done better. And if you really focus in on that, it could really affect the other things in your life. And then soon, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, your life is going to be not just 1% greater, but, we're talking about 200%, 500%, 1,000% greater if you choose to take on the task of making regular things in your life great. Take mundane things and elevate them. Make it your job to elevate them because human beings are what add quality to the world. So if you want to see a better world, start adding quality to the regular routines in your life. All right. My name is Brian. This has been the training for today. Thank you for watching this. Remember, Masterminds podcast with Brian and Pam every Thursday, 7 p.m. Thank you for spending time with us.